We got some big drama developing over in the Valorant space over the last couple of weeks. In case you guys have not seen this on your YouTube recommended, it's a video around Shahzam that went absolutely viral. Even I was surprised when watching this and has now broken 1 million views. And the thumbnail alone is the reason why I clicked and the reason why Shahzam is now responding to these allegations of pure misinformation being brought up over the last 10 years. This stretches all the way back to the iBuyPower match fixing incident, all of which is referenced in this video, calling out Shahzam for apparently partaking in the match-fixing incident, which is firstly not true. And then again, you look at the thumbnail saying caught cheating, which would instantly make you think, oh my god, is Shahzam a cheater? Which he is also not. So much blatant misinformation, or I should say misspoken information and twisting to meet a certain narrative that even Shahzam himself has now responded. All of this made by an account which was formerly known as Timmy Val in the Valorant scene, now known as Retake, as he alleges several times throughout this video that Shahzam partook directly in the iBuyPower match fixing incident, which by the way, is not true.
Low. But besides not playing well, there was a deeper layer as to why Shahzam couldn't get on a team. And it's a side of Shahzam that the public had not heard about yet. However, other CSGO players did witness him behind the scenes.
It's weird to me that Shahzam would say one thing 6 months ago, and then all of a sudden he joins Cloud9 and now he gained the conscience. Like, it doesn't make much sense to me. And the fact that he actually messaged me and Jordan, like, he was just me, you can say whatever, but the fact that he messaged Jordan as well, like, I don't think Jordan would lie to you. I'm pretty sure Jordan would tell you the truth that he messaged him too. You know, as bad for his teammate as it sounds, like, he literally messaged both of us.
And you're probably wondering what exactly Shahzam was messaging them about. Well, he was trying to rig the matches. Shahzam was exposed shortly after being dropped from Cloud9 because it was revealed that he was involved in a match-fixing scandal in the Pro League. Eventually, Shahzam would speak out about the situation publicly, trying to flip the script that he had been blackmailed into covering up the rigging of the game. And netcodesguides.com was majorly behind the setup, and because they were paying him off, he was doing what he was told, which was to stay quiet about the situation. At least that's what Shahzam claimed. Later, however, through screenshots of him messaging others about the rigged game would be leaked, it would show all along that Shahzam not only knew what was going on behind the scenes, but was contributing to it.
Here's allegedly what Shahzam said after the game. You can't tell anyone, please. I trust you. Okay, guys, sorry for the accent. Anyway, basically, he told the recipient of this that they're doing it for skids, enjoy the show, and that this match is being rigged.
So this was the real start of Shahzam's downfall.
And Shahzam himself in his response video does clarify this, how he partook in the investigation via Valve and Richard Lewis at the time, and admitted to what he did do, which was switching his bets. Although after investigation, when it comes to directly partaking and being a part of the fix, that's not true. He was cleared and never punished for a reason.
I knew Casey Foster because I helped him develop his website as a web developer, and I was also sponsored by the website at the time. About 10 minutes before the match went live, Casey told me iBuyPower were throwing the game. Throws seemed to be an open secret amongst pros, and they were warning friends who could lose skins on bets. I had already bet on the game for iBuyPower to win, and on CSGO Lounge, you couldn't cancel a bet. You could only change the team you picked the bet on. When I was informed of the potential throw, I made the regrettable decision to change my bet. I was young, had a lot to learn, and I admit I didn't want to lose my skins. I now recognize this was inappropriate and it goes against the spirit of fair competition. I was honest and forthcoming about how everything went down when I spoke to Valve's lawyers. And after Valve worked directly with CSGO Lounge and Richard Lewis, the investigative journalist who broke the original story, they found no evidence of my involvement in the fix. Now I want to address why my name is entangled in this situation in the first place. The first article regarding the iBuyPower scandal was published by Richard Lewis the day after the match, August 22nd, 2014. Within the article were leaked screenshots of me telling a friend that went to my school that the match was fixed. Honestly, I was really immature here. Bragging about it was dumb, and the right thing to do would have been to come forward about it myself in the first place. That said, this conversation alone was not enough evidence, so the throw went unpunished for about 5 months. It was not until Richard Lewis got a series of text convos from the ex-girlfriend of Deborn, who was one of the people implicated in the throw, where Deborn explained how they conspired to throw the game. This was now enough evidence for Richard to do a full investigation and for Valve to step in and personally look into it. When both Richard Lewis and Valve reached out to me, I told them everything I knew in the same way I've now done again. The decision to change my bet was something many people might have done in the moment, But looking back 10 years later, I wish I didn't. Once again, let me be clear. I was fully cooperative of Valve's investigation. I gave them an honest account of my knowledge and actions. I was transparent, and I didn't face a punishment of any kind. Here are the results of their own investigation and the following blog post made by Valve themselves regarding the matter. And finally, the Hiko clip. This is the clip used by the rage baiters the most to try to implicate me in the Abapower situation. To give context, I joined Cloud9 after Hiko had stepped down from Cloud9 to join the Abapower core. As a team, Hiko and the Abapower guys had signed with the Evil Geniuses organization. This team was never officially announced because they got banned before their debut at MLG X Games Aspen 2015. They were listed under Wicked Masterminds. With their throne game back in August being more in the open, it was honestly a gamble by him. It really sucked for him. He was an innocent party and his new team got banned and dropped from their new contracts before they even started, and he was left teamless. The clip in question was taken right after his team was announced, banned, and dropped. I don't hold any ill feelings towards Hiko so many years later, but I wish he didn't say that. I'm not 100% sure why he did, and I understand he was in a difficult position, but his statement about me asking to throw a game is entirely false. Jordan, the teammate that Hiko specifically mentioned in the clip, publicly clarified with this tweet on the same day that the Hiko clip was posted to YouTube. Also, here's a clip of Richard Lewis's perspective.
But despite all of this, several times in the video, it's this guy just insinuating that because of these messages out of context and these clips of other pro players out of context, that Shahzam was somehow in on it. Despite that, he has further explained to people that incident and exactly what went down. And unfortunately, he was told about the fix moments before it happened. And even more so, unfortunately, as some people out there make dumb choices, he switched his bet. But that does not mean that he was a part of the fix. He was not a part of the players that all agreed to make this happen in order to make themselves some money and also through the games, because that's what the video insinuates. And so when you have a thumbnail that says caught cheating and then you insinuate that he was a match fixer, both of which are not true, it does make you wonder why these videos just go instantly viral. Well, it's because Shahzam is definitely a target of a different side of the Valorant community, which hate on a lot of people, and he has found his way to be a target, some for rightful reasons. He's definitely been involved in a lot of drama and a lot of controversy and responded in ways that I wouldn't recommend. But when it comes to this topic of this viral video, we're talking about a 10-year-old case here where the video even goes on to continue to insinuate that because of Shahzam's involvement in the match-fixing incident, that is why teams didn't want him, and he was forced to team hop, and often the first player dropped from teams, even referencing a team like Complexity as an example, which is also just not true. The match-fixing incident had nothing to do with the roster changes made with Shahzam in his future, as he does so point out, but even with the Complexity roster, before the Juggernaut roster hit, Shahzam and his team, the core that he was a part of, he was one of the last members to leave that team. I'm pretty sure Ricky, Obo, and Sick were all gone before him. So it's just another misinformed opinion and talking point that is completely untrue, but is still in the video.
We all saw quickly that Shahzam was willing to drop his morals in favor of some cash. And being a shady dude makes people notice things, and people were catching on really quick that this is someone that you did not want to trust. Shahzam's sketchy past, along with this match, is most likely the reason for his all over the place team hopping, along with the fact that he wasn't just actually that good at the game anymore.
With the P9, he finds one, and Spotty's gonna actually find another. Sean Garrison gets slaughtered into the side, and it's gonna be down to Shahzam as this might just be, oh no! And that's gonna be your best of 3, guys. Echo Fox, yeah, gonna get eliminated.
However, even with all of this going on, Shahzam would eventually get a chance to play for Misfits Gaming and then Complexity Gaming, both very popular teams that would qualify for major tournaments with Shahzam. However, as soon as the team would start to play poorly, Shahzam would be one of the first players to be dropped. Nobody exactly wanted him on their team, so at the first time to do so, they would always drop him.
And then for Shahzam's back half of his video, he spends the rest of his time trying to go after all of the other misinformation in this video that was not fact-checked. And you do feel bad for the guy. This is from 2014, 10 years ago, and your name is now being dragged through the mud in a thumbnail that says you're a cheater, in a video that says you're a match fixer, and none of that is necessarily true. He does admit fault for the partaking he had in the iBuyPower match fixing incident. Yeah, he switched a bet because he knew the fix was in. It doesn't mean he was a part of the fix. And the thing that matters most, he was never punished and banned for a reason. There was an actual investigation that cleared his part of being directly involved, which is what matters here, you know?
Nothing I've said here is new information. It's all the same as my statement in Richard Lewis's article from January 16th, 2015. This scandal has re-entered the limelight because of a video titled Valorant's Most Hated Pro by a channel called Timmy Val, which is now renamed to Retake. While covering the ABBA Power scandal is fine, Timmy maliciously spun the facts to fit a narrative that's focused on defaming my reputation. And for those reasons, I'm going to respond to every accusation and implication he made in that video. Starting with the thumbnail alone, it's a picture of me with the text, "Caught cheating." I'm not going to sit here and say I was one of the best FPS players ever, but to compete professionally for a decade took a lot of effort and hard work. I've been to almost 50 LAN events around the world. To even clickbait cheating is crazy. It's even crazier that nowhere in the video does he even talk about cheating outside of the thumbnail and the video description. The video proceeds to go into the ABBA Power fixing scandal that I just covered, but he painted in a light where I was complicit and participated in the fixing.
He was trying to rig the matches. Shahzam was exposed shortly after being dropped from Cloud9 because it was revealed that he was involved in a match fixing scandal in the Pro League. For those of you that don't understand, basically, match fixing is when a player would tell somebody the outcome of a game before it happens. And because Shahzam was playing in the games, he had a huge control over what was going on.
He says, "I was throwing the games that I was playing in," which is a serious accusation to make and entirely not true. He also paints it in a light where this situation is why I struggled to join teams.
Shahzam's sketchy past, along with this match, is most likely the reason for his all-over-the-place team hopping.
The ABBA Power match happened 6 months before I joined my first pro team, and I continued to compete on esports teams for the next 10 years. He shows an example of my Liquipedia team history in CSGO to show team hopping, but fails to realize that 5 of those teams listed were the same team, but under different names. The scene was very young and volatile back then. Orgs came and went, and there was no structure like there is now with franchise leagues. I was never denied a spot or removed from a team because they accused me of fixing matches. He also claims that my release from C9 was from the ABBA Power scandal and the chat logs being released. This is an example of misrepresenting the timeline to fit the narrative he wants. The chat logs were released the day after the ABBA Power match happened. I was released from Cloud9 9 months after that match, purely off performance and team fit alone. The video then gives examples of teams like Misfits and Complexity saying I was the first to get replaced.
As soon as the team would start to play poorly, Shahzam would be one of the first players to be dropped. Nobody exactly wanted him on their team, so at the first time to do so, they would always drop him.
That's just outright not true. And it can be as easy as just looking up the roster history of these teams to see that.
And so I do feel bad. You know, it's like the different part of the Valorant community. You got Timmy Val, you got WestJet, who clearly have had beef with Shahzam in the past. And so these kind of targeted, angled videos, they already do well on YouTube, you know, like the downfall of and everyone's most hated or the most toxic or the most hated person in this community. All these videos always do well. But I think Shahzam is completely entitled here to make a response over a video based around 10-year-old information and misinforming an audience and depicting him as a cheater and match fixer. Yeah, he has a right to defend himself and, you know, refute the points which were misinformed in that video. It's a wild time online, guys. I do feel bad for the guy. And again, he has responded to things in ways that maybe he shouldn't in the past, but he doesn't deserve to have his name drugged for these kind of instances whatsoever. So until next time, hope you guys all enjoy yourselves. Have a great rest of your day. Maybe drink some water and coffee, and we'll catch you back here soon. Take care, guys.